Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful, award winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. Welcome back to In the Weeds. Please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. And if you're loving this content, you can always give us a super thanks. Ted, how about we take a couple look at a couple plays from Ole Miss?
Let's do it.
Let's start. These are positive plays. We
Yeah.
are we are infusing positivity into the fan base. So if you watched our last X's and O's in the weeds from the South Carolina game, you would be very familiar with the zone insert concept that OU is running. So right here, we're going to take a look at the RPO game that can be built off that concept. So you look at what we've got right now. Sooners are in 11 personnel. You see Bauer Sharp there at tight end. You're going to get the zone insert play. So Logan Howland is going to work out to this defensive end. You're getting a double team between Troy Everett and Heath Ozida to this backer that is on the front side. Fabechi Wiwu and Michael Tarquin are man on man on this backside on the zone insert play. And then Bauer Sharp is coming in and inserting for this backer. Now, the way that this one unfolds is pretty interesting when you just look at the run. And let's take a look at the run before we kind of break down what happens with the RPO. Bauer Sharp actually, Ted, I think he thinks it's a little cloudy going around the entire thing, and he just sees a little hole and inserts there. That's the first time I've seen him do that all season. But I just think it has to do with where the alignment of the backers is. It seems like they're bumped over a little bit compared to what the normal alignment in the 4-2 structure looks like when they run this play, which is interesting.
Yeah. I think well, what I think it is just cover one. The safety, you can see the safety rocking down into the box. Looks like man to man everywhere else. And the backers are cheated away from the low safety, and they've got those two guys man to man. And then this free safety that's coming down, or I guess that's strong safety coming down, since the two backs go away, he would be the free player, plug player underneath. I think that's what it is, and maybe that's why Bauer Sharp doesn't take it to that side because he'd be taking it to the support, the bringing the support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know. It doesn't look too bad where he just kind of searches and finds the opening. The way that they run those little inside stunts like our defensive line does,
So
which
annoying.
yeah, I know.
And
But
you can see Ozida and Everett and Weewu try to just sort it all out, and it creates this jumbled mess, which is exactly what Ole Miss is going for with those things, like just canceling out gaps and letting linebackers be free and go make plays. Now, this is not the best example of how how many times the interior for OU's offensive line actually pass those twists off at a high level in the run game. It's not easy, especially on the center. And I thought for the most part, when they ran the zone variations, they actually handled those interior twists pretty well, Ted.
yeah, no, and it's difficult. Like you could see right here, if like they did hand it, and you would really like Bauer Sharp to go to that other side because it's away from where that fold player on the D line is coming. There's a little quick penetrator and then a wrap, and you end up taking it right to where the wrap is, but it's difficult to read all that stuff on the fly.
So I think this is a great example of Jackson Arnold showing some improvement.
Mhm.
Earlier in the season, we talked about some of the issues he was having when it came to the RPO game. When he was supposed to hand it, when he was throwing it, like was he seeing the reads clearly? And to me, Ted, it looks like he's got his eyes on this safety. I mean, you look at where he's looking, it appears he's looking at this guy back here. And the second that that guy comes down to play, he pulls it and throws it right in behind him. It's a
Mhm.
nice route by Jacob Jordan. Look, speed vertically, crisp cut on the slant. That's good stuff. Nice competitive catch. But you just look at how efficient Arnold is. Eyes in the right place, make my decision, get my body around, throw it.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the type of stuff that makes you really encouraged about Jackson Arnold's future. That is something we saw him struggle with earlier in the season, and that's a clear, crisp, clear read, quick decision, balls right on Jordan, nice, accurate football. I mean, there's a lot of things to like about this play for number 11.
Yeah. And it's a good play design too. Like, we talked about this where their safeties like to cut the unders. So you can see Brendan Thompson looks like he's running an under kind of. I mean, he's really stock blocking, but that safety kind of jumps. You see the corner freezing like he's like, are you taking him or not? Because if he takes him and it's an under route, that corner has to push directly to the post right away. And that's why there's no one in that post right there because they both kind of get caught in no man's land. It's a really nice throw.
It's a nice throw. And then this is what I love. Jacob Jordan secures catch. Where's the official? Get him the football. Get my eyes to the sideline. Go and get lined up. What's the signal? What are we running next?
Yep.
I mean, this is a guy that hadn't played until a week ago, and he looks just shockingly calm out there. Like he's been
Calm.
doing it for years.
And I mean, that's a competitive catch. The guy's draped over him, fighting for the football as he's catching. I mean, there's an arm in there. He's catching the arm with the football. It's pretty impressive. And it's
This
like the sight line. There's not a great sight line either. You see it's coming right by that safety, outstretched arm.
does Jacob Jordan, he knows he's supposed to do, all the kids do the finger under the nose.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what it means. It looks cool, I won't lie, but they do the like that one for the first down. Doesn't he know he's supposed to have some swaggy first down thing, like just a something, anything?
I think he's still to the point of where it's like, I'm just trying not to screw up. I'm going to toss the ball to the official, try and get lined up. I'm sure that stuff will come later.
Do it, Jacob
Maybe not.
Jordan. Do something. Or maybe, hey, don't change, man. You've done a really nice job the last couple of weeks, but in all seriousness, this is something that is coached in
Yeah.
practice. Get the ball to the official, right? Especially when you're trying to play with tempo, depending on the drive. Get your eyes to the sideline, get lined up. It's clear. He's already got the signal. They're about to go fast. He is hauling to go get lined up.
Now
I
they do typically tell you to hand it to the official instead of tossing it, right? Because those guys can't catch with a flip.
can't trust their hands. Got to hand it to the official.
That's
Give
right.
the ball to the official. But that's there's a lot of good in that play. And one of my favorite parts about it, clearly, Jackson Arnold, clear read, quick decision, accurate football, nice competitive play from Jacob Jordan. But it's also a good reminder of, hey, when you're running the football efficiently, and whether it's RPO or true play action pass, when you're actually running it efficiently, like Oklahoma did in this first half, it affects the defense and it opens up things down the field in the passing game.
That's right.
But
Yep.
you have to sequence those plays properly and you've got to build off your core run concepts. And I loved the fact that Joe John Finley, they ran the zone insert multiple times before they dialed this RPO up. And it builds on each other. And
And
I was a big fan of everything about this play.
no, and it's good. And if we can be more consistent, because when you go back and you see those safeties, one of the things that we've talked about is how everyone's creeping closer and closer to the line of scrimmage against us. Look how aggressive that safety is closing down because we haven't hit a bunch of these. Well, you throw a spear in behind him, big first down, first and goal inside the 5. Well, next time he's going to freeze right there about the 10-yard line instead of just screaming down into the box, and then you end up finding more space in the run game. It all works together.
Seventh element, you have six blockers in the zone insert play. Seventh element appears, you throw it right in behind him. That's the RPO game.
Mhm.
But you have to be running it efficiently.
Go back. Does he tip that ball?
Uh, maybe a finger on it. Yeah, it
Because
looks tight and then it gets a little wobbly, huh?
it looks like it's wobbling there at the end, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just the stripe on the ball.
I think he tipped it. Did he tip it? I don't know. Official doesn't give the tip signal.
It all happens so fast, hard to tell. Hmm.
Brennan Thompson's fired up.
Yep.
He's given the first down signal, even though Jacob Jordan won't. Give the ball to the official. Go get lined up. Very good.
Good
Very,
stuff.
very good. All right, let's take a look at a defensive play from the Ole Miss game, Ted. But first,
Oh, you tailgaters, listen up. We are now officially in the premium conference of college football, and you expect a premium product on the field and on the grill. That's why you need Didier Ranch's steak burgers to take your tailgate to the next level. Proudly raised in Oklahoma for over 120 years, premium beef this good is hard to come by. Go to DidierRanch.com. That's DIDIER ranch.com. Use promo code Oklahoma15 for 15% off your order. Didier Ranch, tradition plays better and tastes better.
so here's a play where I feel like we can just hit a lot of terminology that we use on the podcast that maybe some people that don't have, extensive experience playing football, like that they just don't quite understand. So there's a lot going on here, Ted. First of all, OU's in bear. We use that term a lot. We talk about it on the podcast a lot. Just a reminder, bear is there's a head up guy on the center. There's a guy on the outside shade of both guards, and then you've got your two edge players. So OU comes out in bear, and it's interesting because a lot of times when teams are in sub personnel, you see bear, and then you just see the one linebacker kind of stacked in the middle of the defense. Ole Miss is in 12 personnel here. They're spread out, right? They're an expanded formation, but interesting, Ted. We've got two linebackers in the core along with the five down linemen in bear. If I was Ole Miss's center, alarm bells would be going off.
Try it. Well, and so the other thing is you see Woody Washington, who's playing the cheetah spot right now. That is typically the Mike backer that lines up there. And that's what Gabe's talking about. Um, if the Mike backer is there and we're playing man to man coverage, well, the cheetah is going to be covering the inside player, the third player there on the inside, number 3. He'd have that guy man to man. All right. But since you don't have a free player now, right, and we're bringing a pressure, Woody Washington's going, the free safety is no longer free, and he has to take Woody Washington's coverage. So you could see we're creeping up there on the back end. Both safeties are in a position to cover a guy man to man.
This is also so OU's in bear, which is something we talk about on the podcast quite a bit. And then you'll hear us use the term cover zero or zero blitz. And this is exactly what we're talking about when you see this. So this is OU bringing zero. So the way that I've always explained it to people, Ted, is Ole Miss is in six-man protection. You've got your five offensive linemen and your running back. You've got six guys to protect the quarterback. Zero is when the defense brings one more than you've got to block them.
Yeah.
So you see the Sooners with Stutsman, McKenzie, and then the five down guys coming. They're bringing seven rushers, and Ole Miss only has six blockers. So that means the reason you call it cover zero is there is no deep safety in the middle of the field. So that's why it's cover zero. There's no deep safety. There's no one in the middle of the field. It's man to man across the board, and the defense is bringing one more than you have to block. And in this situation, this may sound strange, but Danny Stutsman, with the way that they are directing their protection on this, Danny Stutsman is Jaxson Dart's guy. Jaxson Dart's responsibility is to beat Danny Stutsman with the ball because there's no one to block him. So that's how a lot of people explain it. It's like, hey, that's the quarterback's guy. Uh-oh, I hit something wrong. Stutzman does a nice job. He's such a good blitzer.
He is. Good
Bam.
timing, good feel, good angle here.
It's good protection from Ole Miss. I mean, you think about the six guys that they have for the six,
Mhm.
they're covered up across the board, but
Now,
that's why you
if
bring the extra guy.
if Stutzman is closer and gets up in that gap, there's a chance that that tackle takes Stutzman and leaves the end guy go, right?
Depending on what their protection rules are. Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you something that's interesting down here coverage wise. You see Eli Bowen is on the point. You got a bunch. Um, now, I'm not sure, but here's what I think is happening. Now, remember, Woody Washington is blitzing. So the safety has his coverage, which is that inside guy of the bunch, right? The number three wide receiver. So I think Eli Bowen and is that Billy Bowman back there? I
Yes.
think they're in and out on the two outside guys, and Eli takes the first short route. And that's why he's lined up over the point guy, but he ends up taking the outside guy. And then Billy Bowman takes the upfield player. And then, as I said, I think that's Robert Spears Jennings has the coverage where Woody Washington is coming from. I think that's how they sort that there. And you can see they're trying to get a pick route or a rub route here in man to man. You see the tying in, faking like he's going to get a piece of Eli Bowen there.
This is just a great football education play. We've got bear front, cover zero, and then the offense is running the staple of the air raid, the running mesh.
Yep. 92.
That's it right there.
Now they
One
ran
guy
this
goes high, the
earlier,
other guy goes low. You try to knock off the guys running in man.
and there's the dig. Billy Bowman's playing the guy that's going to run the dig over the top. Now they ran this earlier, and we had a bunch of guys run into each other down here on the crosser, and the inside guy just ran that spear over the top. The formation was flipped; it was going the other side, and they caught it running away from us on a nice play.
It's a good call defensively, though. Third and
Yeah,
four. There's a lot of options for them on third and four.
good against the run too.
Say, hey, let's heat them up. Nice aggressive call. You look at kind of the situation in the game, feeling like you absolutely have to get off the field. Let's blitz 28.
Yeah, and you see another quick point here. You see Kobe McKenzie. He's he's blitzing, but he's really not. He just has that running back man to man. He is not actually a blitzer here. So
I got a
if
question
that,
for you.
yeah,
Let's say, and a lot of teams will do this where the back will cross key and be responsible for the backer on the other side. If the back were to come across the formation, Stutzman would then have him man to man, correct?
typically, yes. If he blocks you, you own him. So, like, that's why Kobe McKenzie's just going to collision him instead of swimming. Because if it's a screen or something, like he's got that guy. Now, whenever it's an offset, when you go back to the finished formation, there's probably a conversation between Woody Washington and Kobe McKenzie right now. At least there should be saying, peel whatever. If that running back swings, then you may have Woody Washington peeling on that. In zero, you typically have a peel by the outside blitzer.
Correct. So that's if right away that running back swings out into the flat, Woody Washington then aborts the blitz and takes that guy man to man.
Green dog, people, some people call it a green dog the back. If you've ever heard that term, that's often what it's referring to.
Anything else about this play? A lot in this play, man. I didn't even realize it when we picked it.
Yeah, there is.
Should we talk about the fact that maybe it should have been intentional grounding?
I don't think there's any doubt it should have been intentional grounding. He's
Well,
inside the tackle box. He's avoiding a sack, and
I
he
think
throws it
he's
to nobody.
close. He's very close to the edge of the tackle box,
No,
but I
I'm telling you, I watched it from the end zone. There's no doubt he's inside.
ball does go beyond the line of scrimmage. There does not appear to be a receiver in the area. I would say two out of the three criteria it undoubtedly checks, and then tackle box it appears to be that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter; they punted it, but
Yep.
still, it's always nice to get an
It's.
intentional grounding. That
I
that's a
mean,
good feeling as a defense, right?
it's 10 yards, and
Yeah.
if I remember right, this is the punt that goes out of bounds on the two.
Well, that's a tremendous point then.
I think, isn't it late? Maybe not.
That punt was incredible.
It was. It was really nice.
Nice play. Nice play from OU's defense, though. And a
Yep.
nice, smart, clean hit from Stutsman.
One more quick point. Look at Billy Bowman. This is the difference between the NFL and college. See him collision this guy at, what's he at, 8 yards? There is no illegal contact in college football. So you can rough that guy up right there as long as the ball's not in the air to him.
What happens if you did that to Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase or one of those
Five
guys?
yard penalty, automatic first down. Can you believe that? Think about how hard it is to cover those guys. You can't even do that.
That's crazy. Oh, nice job, OU defense. Way to get off the field. I liked that one. That was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
it was good.
Hope you guys did as well. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Also, if you really like this, give us a super thanks down this way. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.